Why don't you just sing
Recording
the
in
intro?
progress.
Why don't you
You know
just
what that
sing the intro?
means? No, no. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the welcome back to Taxi Squad. Yeah, post All-Star break edition. And that is the focus of today's episode, in case you hadn't caught on.
Yeah, it's like
Kind of.
kind
Kind
of
of.
yes, no. Honestly, okay, Simon, did you watch the All-Star game or skills comp or anything?
No, I did not. Well, I watched very, very few. Sorry, not very few. That's not proper English. I watched a bit of the skills competition, not a whole lot. I just put it on in the background while I was working out because I needed something to watch while I was working out to keep myself entertained,
True.
and it barely did that. But I
Yeah.
did watch the All Star
I
skills
think you probably
competition.
had more fun working out than actually watching.
I did. I did. Gains. Hashtag gains, bro.
Games are fun, bro.
Yes,
I know you
sir.
tweeted about them, some of the All-Star skills comps
Oh, did
as they're
I
happening.
ever?
I just remember reading
I
some of
did.
them. Just found it so
I
funny.
did.
Because
Oh.
like what was it? Well, that was Friday, right? That was Friday,
It
Feb.
was Friday. It was Friday, and then the game was on Friday, and then the competition was on Friday. The game was on Saturday, so I think teams could fly out. They could fly out back to their teams on Sunday, and they could start again on Monday.
Yeah, I was hanging out with some people on Friday and Saturday, so I completely missed everything. I'm glad I did
Mm-hmm.
because like I fuck that man. But
Yeah.
what I did do instead is I caught up on some clips and I read what happened, and I
Mm-hmm.
can confirm that is boring as balls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
quickly I'll quickly run through the game first because you predicted I think the Central would win.
I can't remember. I don't think I did. I predicted one of the Western conferences. Might have been the Pacific. It was either the
Pacific, eh?
Pacific or the might have been the Central. I predict one. No, I can't remember. I can't remember for the life of me. Jesus Christ.
I remember I picked the Atlantic. What happened was
Oh
Metro
boy.
beat the Pacific 6-4. Central beat the Atlantic 8-5. So both of us, whatever we chose, were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Metro
Assuming
beat
ways, yeah.
Metro beat
'Cause
Central
I can't
5-3.
remember, but yes, yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
any of us picked the Metro.
Yeah,
Um,
probably not.
because the
Oh yes,
Metro
I forgot the Metro.
was missing Ovechkin. It was also missing Adam Fox because they were
They're
both
missing a
injured.
lot. They're
Yeah.
missing a lot. So yeah, yeah. Fair.
MVP was Claude Giroux, but honestly could not care less because I mean
It's the All-Star game, and no one
it's
cares.
yeah, no one cares. And also, like, no one was really trying, to be honest. So the games could have really swung either way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the players get if they win the All-Star game? Isn't it like $1 million?
They used to get a car. They used to get a car. I don't know if they're doing that
Oh,
anymore.
no, I don't think so.
Um, or a truck. They used to do that. Yeah, but I don't know if they are anymore. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they might win like a small amount of money, but it still isn't enough to incentivize anyone really. Um
The amount of
I'm
money they're
just
making is like what they make in like a day and a half,
yeah, pretty much.
basically. Like,
I'm just I'm surprised the games were that like low scoring, aka uneventful.
mm,
Like
I
if you look at the
don't know.
basketball All-Star game, isn't like there's All-Star game, it
Yeah.
goes into like 180 points to 150 points, something ridiculous like that, right?
Yeah, no, it depends because like sorry, they had some yeah, it goes up really high in the NFL. Sorry, the NBA. God damn it,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
NBA.
And these games
Um,
that the NHL played, it's just like a regular game. 5-3. Wow.
yeah. Hmm.
Even the
Yeah.
score just looks boring as balls.
What like here's the thing. And we are going to get into kind of more deep in analysis into the All-Star break. Specifically, I think we're going to probably focus in on the All-Star skills competition. And as I've gotten older, because again, the All-Star events used to be something that like I was like really into as like a younger fan, like in my first couple years of watching hockey. Hell, I even got to go to the All-Star game in Ottawa in 2012. That was really cool when I was in like grade like 8 or something. But like now that I'm older and I actually like understand the game a lot better and like I watch a lot more games, like man, who cares about All-Star break in any sport really?
I know, right?
Like like the NBA I think is a bit more interesting because like I think they do the skills competition a bit better than the NHL does. But that's another thing. But like at the end of the day, what really is it? Like it's
Not
not
much.
significant in any way. Like I know it's supposed to be. I think it's more for the fans than it is for the players and the rest of the league. Um, but like I don't even think at this point it's really. I don't even really think the fans enjoy it at this point. Oh, sorry, I'm sure some people do, but I'm
I
just one of the people who just like I don't really get it. Um,
honestly, are you a fan?
I am a fan.
Did you enjoy it?
Maybe less now than I did recently, but did I enjoy it? No, I did not enjoy it.
So then how is it for the fans?
That's a good question. I just think conceptually All Star Weekends for the fans, which that's a I'm gonna break down that point a bit more once we get into the actual analysis of the weekend. But yeah, I don't know. The only All Star sport or All Star weekend I actually enjoy watching is like well, I don't really enjoy watching the NBA All-Star game that much anymore. Like, I'll watch it if it's on because it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting. But like
Yeah.
the skills competition in the NBA is probably only like actual skills thing in any professional sport I actually watch.
Or the
And in terms
celebrity
of the
game.
game, I don't even watch a celebrity game.
Okay.
Like,
But that is
okay,
fun.
like
Fun
in
concept. The NHL
yeah,
does not
the
have
only
that.
things like the only All-Star related stuff I watch in any sport or is the baseball All-Star game because that is an actual game. There's
Yeah.
no gimmicks. It's literally a game of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And there's no gimmicks to it. So just the game, and then there's the home run derby. And the home run derby, I don't really watch anymore because again, that's for I think I enjoyed it more when I was a kid, not so much anymore. And then the NBA skills competition, dunk comp, 3-point comp. Those are interesting in my opinion because they actually evaluate the player skills. But
Yep.
anyways, um, this has turned into a really long rant. But
No,
yeah,
but it's warranted though. Like
yeah.
NHL, in my opinion, I don't know if you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna say this later on, but the All-Star game is specifically, it's not catered for fans, I would say. It's specifically for the fans of the city where the All-Star game and the skills comp is being played. It's just an
Mm-hmm.
event, an in-person event for the people of the city. It's just to honor, it's like a spectacle for the people in the city. So Vegas, for example, right? Great
Mm-hmm.
city. And I love that they made the All-Star weekend very Vegas themed in a sense as well, right? Like if you're someone from Vegas, I guess you'd love to see it. I don't really
I'm gonna
know
get.
if it's
I'm gonna
not, but
touch on
like
that later. I'm gonna touch on that later as well.
it was
But
kind of
so
tacky because
I,
it's like
I
it's
have
like
some problems with it, which I will get to later. Which again, but yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that statement. And I think, well, here's the thing, right? Like a couple years ago, like, I maybe this is just because I was younger and like, oh, it's exciting, the All Star Weekend, but like,
yeah,
it feels like that there's a lot more excitement. And I don't think I'm wrong when I'm saying this because I was reading this on Twitter as well. It seems like the excitement for the All-Star game and All-Star weekend has gone down significantly this year and then like last year as opposed to previous years. Or maybe not last year because last year there wasn't an All-Star game because of the pandemic, but like this year, like I completely forgot. I didn't even know All-Star weekend was All-Star weekend until like Friday, like Thursday night when like okay, or like whenever the Leafs last played, like, oh okay, after the All-Star game. I'm like, what? Cool. Anyways, like yeah,
honestly,
you're right.
overall interest in hockey. I wouldn't
Yeah.
go as far as to say just interest in sport, but interest in hockey is down significantly over the last 2 years because dude, people just have so much more to worry about now. And just like
That's a
the
good
on the
point.
rung of priorities in your life, the ladder of priorities, hockey is not up there for me, specifically speaking. Like it's not high in my life priorities at all.
Oh no, for sure. I think that's everyone. Like it's a
Yeah,
hobby. It's not.
it's
Yeah.
a hobby. Yeah, it's fun. It used to be higher, like a couple of years ago, but after COVID and everything, like man, I value so many more other things in my life right now. And hockey is just like if I have time, I'll make time for it. And
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
it helps me make this podcast better, then I'll watch it. Right?
Yeah. Like yeah.
Like
I think that's every fan, with the exception of the fans who also happen to have a career like in like sports journalism or sports management that actually where like the game actually impacts their like what they like if they have to cover this like if you have to write about the Leafs, for example, or if you write about the All-Star weekend, for example. But I 100% think you're right in the sense that like it's like
yeah.
I felt it as well. I'm watching significantly fewer games this year than I have previous years. Um, Now how much of that is from the pandemic, I don't know, but like it's something I definitely notice. Like
In
I'm definitely not like I definitely don't feel like oh I have to watch the game tonight, but like or like just anyways, that's
in a weird way,
yeah
I'm more interested in the stuff we say on this podcast than actually reading and learning about the league on a day-to-day basis. Like I do it
yeah
so that obviously I'm educated in what goes on in the league, but
Right.
kind of do this for this podcast because I'm like, I really like this
I
stuff.
mean,
And I love that
yeah,
we talk about it all the time. But if there was no podcast, then maybe I just would not read about it.
that's the thing, right? Like I've definitely noticed that as well. Maybe less so than you, because again, I don't know. You probably read about more stuff for the pod than I do, because again, you typically do a bit more of the producing stuff. I do some, not a whole lot, but like more so because like I'm also like in school full time, so I don't really have a lot of time to kind of be like, oh, here's this, here's that. But like, um, yeah, like again, I think I'm probably maybe not to the same extent as you when you say that, but like I think probably in the same boat, just because again, like just the things that have gone on in the league this year, like it's been kind of depressing to the point where like if we weren't doing this pod, I probably would have done some
Yeah.
kind of not exiling, but kind of would have taken some space or some distance from the league for a while, or at least from the things in the league that weren't related to the Leafs, and just kind of
Meditation.
like yeah, just kind of like yeah, basically, I kind of just like kind of distanced myself because I think it's just. Cause like there was genuinely a period like during the Kyle Beach stuff where I was like, I need to take a break from like everything. And I was
Yeah.
genuinely thinking like, should I take a break from the pod? Should we kind of put pause on things? It was like I can't because like we talked about it. Anyways, this is gonna turn into a really depressing conversation about the league, we can kind of end there. But like I'm sure a lot of fans understand where I'm coming from because I feel like that's probably a lot of things that the fans around the league have felt, not just myself.
Yeah. No, I definitely felt it as well. Okay, I'll quickly run through the All-Star skills games. There were like 6 or 7 of them. Fastest skater, Jordan Kyrou, 13.55 seconds.
Good
Second
job,
fastest,
Jordan.
Adrian Kempe at 13.585. And third was Chris Kreider at 13.664. Wow, is Chris Kreider like so underratedly good this season? Every
I got
time I
my
see his,
Rangers jersey on.
yeah, I noticed that. But like,
Yeah.
my God, this guy is just, I have not ever appreciated him enough. And this season in particular, I am seriously not
Well,
appreciating him enough.
yeah. I appreciate him because he's on my fantasy team this year. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Chris Kreider's having a really good year. I hope he can keep it up. Not just because he's on my fantasy team, although that would be sweet if he could. But like, um, yeah, like he's
He's
always
leading
been
the
a
league. He's leading the league in goals right now, 33.
yeah, he's always been a really good skater. Um, I don't really follow the Rangers all that closely. Although like I don't know where this goal scoring prowess came from. I mean, it probably helps that he's playing. I think he's playing with Mika Zibanejad. So that obviously probably helps. And I mean, who knows who he's playing with, but like, man, he's been unreal. He's
Yeah.
been actually unreal. Uh,
Longest NHL save streak. Soupy and Vazzy won with 9 saves in a
yeah,
row. Cool.
yeah, yeah,
NHL Fountain Faceoff. What the fuck was this event?
yeah. So
I
they were standing on a fountain outside the Bellagio, and they basically had and they're standing on a fountain. They're sitting like in a fountain. And they had they had two circles, like two like platforms. We had to like essentially saucer pass the puck onto those platforms. So you had to do the left one and then the right one, and then the last one you had to put it into a net that was like float like on a platform like in the middle, a little further back. And yeah,
so like
it was
what's the difference
essentially
between this and the accuracy one?
well, one's shooting, one's like this is essentially passing. Like accuracy is basically accuracy shooting. Like and it's very different. If you go look at if you look it up after, you'll see the difference. But like, anyways,
Okay.
just keep going. I'm gonna touch on that. I am gonna touch. I'm as we're talking about it, I'm it's bringing back a lot of points that I was gonna bring up when we talked about this. So keep going.
But see how awkwardly we're talking about this so far? It's like
Yes, I know,
like
but just keep going,
fine,
keep
fine, fine.
going, keep going, keep going.
Quick question on this one though. First,
Yes,
there was a female hockey player who was playing in this event. I forgot her name.
I think it was Kendall Coyne Schofield, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, she actually did really well in the first round of this skills comp. Why didn't
Hmm.
she get to the finals?
Dude, I can't. I don't know. I wasn't watching it. I can't remember. I have
Okay,
no
whatever.
idea. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Let me
Hardest
just say
shot.
though. Let me just say though. I think this is like this. I think this is the second year, or not the second year. They've done. I think they've. I think it's great. Again, we've talked about how bad the All-Star game is for different reasons. I think it's great that they have female hockey
Oh yeah,
players participating in these events as well. Um, again, I'm sure there's some people somewhere that don't like it, but I think it's a good way to kind of promote the
screw
game.
them.
Um, I think the last time they actually had an All-Star game, I think it was in St. Louis in 2019, I believe it was. They
Mhm.
actually had like a women's like 3-on-3 game during the intermission, which is kind of cool. Um, so I just
Yes.
think it's a like I don't know if they did that again this year. If they didn't, that's kind of too bad because I really think it'd be a interesting, like a pretty creative way to market the game around, sort of market the women's game as well. But anyways, so bravo on the NHL for having Kendall Coyne Schofield at the All-Star game again because I think she was there also in San Jose. But anyways,
Yep. 100%. Great job. I was just perplexed as to why she did not proceed to the second round of that event. Well,
oh
who
no,
cares?
for sure. Yep.
Hardest shot. Zach Hedman.
I think I can say Zach Cassian, but yes, go
Zach
ahead.
Cassian.
Yes, Zach
103.2
Cassian.
miles per hour. I'm kidding. Hedman won.
Yeah,
Cool. That's
yeah.
all I have to say
Like,
for that. Breakaway
mhm.
challenge. Breakaway challenge. There was like five skaters who participated in this. Alex Petrangelo won. I really, really don't know how he won that one.
I know. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know.
Like, how was it not Kirill Kaprizov? Like, how was it not him?
Kaprizov.
Dude, I thought
How did
Kaprizov was the best.
more than Trevor Zegras?
Okay, Zegras was good too, but I really loved Kaprizov, dude.
Dude.
I would
Okay,
go
I
Kaprizov one, Zegras two.
whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
I thought okay, anyways.
either
I thought
way,
Kaprizov's was a yeah. Mhm.
either way, we could both agree that Petro was last.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But here's the thing. Like Kaprizov was impressive. I thought and I thought it
That
was
was
kind
so
of cool
funny.
that he paid homage to Ovechkin considering he wasn't at the event. But dude, like Trevor Zegras was blindfolded, like, and I'm not sure how much he was blindfolded. We'll never know that because again, like that's something you just never know. He dodged like again, and there's so many
I
things
know.
that was so and the Zorro move. Oh my! There's guys who can't even do that like in warm up, and he
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it
yeah.
like so easily.
Blindfolded in
Like
his packed stadium in
and
the
like it
dark.
was on his first try.
Yeah,
He didn't bobble it and do like he freaking nailed it.
yeah, it was
Anyways,
good. Okay, I just really
both are
like
good.
Kaprizov because I thought it was really
Oh
funny.
no, I don't blame you. I don't
Yeah,
blame you for liking it. I just I I just think in my personal opinion, I thought Trevor Zegras is like head and shoulders above everyone else. But because the thing is, okay, anyways, keep going. This is
okay,
and I'll expand on that after because I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tiny rant, but that's okay.
sure.
Anyways, go ahead.
NHL accuracy, Sebastian Aho won 10.937 seconds, which was like way better than anyone else.
Good job,
And
Aho.
then there was NHL 21 and 22. This is the dumbest event ever. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone watching at home, well, at least anyone who doesn't understand the concept of blackjack, and I bet there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
Joe
Mhm.
Pavelski won, and like this was for anyone who doesn't know how to play the game. I bet this is confusing all the way through.
Yeah.
So I apologize on behalf of the league for anyone who watched that
So
event.
basically, so basically, for those of you who are listening and haven't seen it, they basically had a grid of cards hung
Yeah.
up in the air, and there were five. I think there was Pavelski, Matthews, Kachuk, Stamkos. There might have been one more. I can't remember, but those are the four that I remember off the top of my head. Um, and they basically had to shoot to try to get 21 because that's the point of blackjack. So they had like aces, queens, they basically had every like a bunch of different cards, and they had to shoot to try to knock the card. If you hit the card, you got the points. You got the amount of points that were um on the card. So if you got a king, for example, you get like 10 points or whatever. So you wanted to get the 21. Um, like, and I think the idea was supposed to. I don't even know. I haven't really like, but yeah.
So
So
Sebastian,
good job, Joe.
yeah, sorry, not Sebastian. Joe Pavelski won that one. And yeah, that's it. That's about all the skills comps there were. I would say my favorite one, and it's always been my favorite one, has been actually I don't even know now. I was gonna say hardest shot, but like Charo's not
My
there.
favorite was none. My favorite was none of them.
Mm,
Okay, so
most
here's okay. I'm gonna
quick thing.
cook. So go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think most exciting the one that I look forward to is fastest skater, just because I don't know. I like that. It's cool. I feel like that'd be
Mm-hmm.
applicable to like a real game scenario, fastest skating.
Yeah.
Hardest shot, like, okay, yeah, maybe. But everything else,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care, man. Like, no.
So here's the problem I have with the skills competition. Not even the All-Star weekend with the skills competition. Um, the skills competition doesn't actually measure players' skills. It doesn't. Faster skater kind of does. Like shooting fast, like sorry, skating fast. Accuracy shooter does. Hardest shot does. So I guess some of the events do. Breakaway challenge does not because half the time players just use the props, which I think is a good way to market the players. I will give you that. But like, here's the thing. And this is kind of my bigger point here. I think one of the reasons why the NBA does a really good job of actually like sorry, one of the reasons that enjoy the NBA's skills competitions more is because they actually invite non-all-stars to the event. And now Trevor Zegras wasn't an all-star that was at the event, but like I don't know if that was if that was an exception or if the NHL specifically asked for him because they thought it would be really good for the ratings or whatever. But like year in year out in the NBA, you have players who aren't actual like all-stars participating in events like the dunk contest, the 3-point competition, the All-Star Skills Challenge relay. Like I think that makes it a lot more interesting. It actually allows you to assess like skills from players who aren't all-stars. So basically, the fastest skater isn't necessarily the fastest skater in the league. It's the fastest skater of the player who's at the competition. So like, and I think that's kind of, and I know that's a really kind of like if like that's a really like kind
Where's
of
Ilya
tinfoil hat. Yeah. No, like and like again, I'm kind of like I put out those tweets on Friday night saying, "Oh, like this weekend sucks" or whatever. It's not fun. And like I don't like kind of like being like that. Kind of like, "Oh, I hate this." Like because at the end of the day, like if you don't like it, don't watch. Which I didn't after I watched a little bit of it. But like what like why are there why are they doing events in the fountain in front of the Bellagio? I don't get it. And the problem I have with that is you have fans that are paying to get into who are paying to go to the event, and I'm willing to, and they and two of the events, the the blackjack one and the Bellagio weren't even at the arena. So you're basically so these fans are paying to go to the All-Star weekend, which is it's a very special event. Um, not many cities get to host it in a decade. Only 10 teams get to host it in a decade. And you basically took two of the events out of the arena, and I'm willing to bet that they didn't discount the price at all because why would you? It's All-Star weekend. So like, anyways, that's a long rant, but like those are kind of the specifically the one where like they're not inviting everyone or not everyone has an opportunity to participate in the skills competition. Like I just think it's probably one of the bigger problems I have with it in addition to many, but like I don't know.
The problem from the with the All-Star break stems from one thing, right? If you fix this one thing, then the All-Star game and the skills comp will drastically improve. And you know what that one thing is, Mr. Simon?
Effort, the effort, the
No, no,
players'
no.
effort. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
yes,
know.
obviously, yes, the
Yeah,
players'
yeah.
effort,
No, I
but
know.
like
I know.
you can't
No.
really change that.
Mhm.
I mean, in the structure of the way the All-Star players are selected, why does there have to be one from every single team? You're
Yes,
diminishing the
a
overall
hundred
value of the
percent,
All-Star
a
game and the skill
hundred
there.
percent. Mm-hmm.
The
And we
purpose
talked
of the
about that
All-Star
in the
game and
yep.
the entire weekend is for the best of the best in the league to be there. You want the most skilled players to be there. You want the most exciting. You want the coolest, brightest, youngest stars. You want just the
Yeah.
phenomenal faces of the league to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you have to have one from every team? Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
okay if someone from Arizona is not there. Trust
Mm-hmm.
me. Trust me. Like, why was Clayton Keller there? Come on. You just have
Yeah.
okay, I know that's an example, but what I'm saying is
Yeah,
there
I
are
know, I know.
players,
No, I know.
there are players who are at the All Star game where I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
them and I'm like, how are you there when someone like John Tavares wasn't?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wow, it made everything about the Leafs.
Example, just an example.
I know, or make us a Zibanejad. I'm gonna throw my
Make a
Rangers
advantage
out
of that,
there.
right?
Make us a Zibanejad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's like
No,
tons of players that could go on and on about that, but like
mm-hmm.
like why? If you have the better players there, then your product on the ice will improve. Your skills comp event will improve. That's
Mm,
the first thing you should fix. And I know,
yeah.
actually, I don't know how they would go about fixing this. Like maybe you have the media members of the NHL decide the list of players, and then the fans vote based on that. Because that way you prevent the John Scott thing from happening. I don't know how you do it, but you got to fix it.
Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. So, and again, not to keep on this point, but you do it how the NBA does it. You have the fan voting, but you also get voting from the players and from the coach and like from other executives around the league. That way, it's not
Mm-hmm.
strictly player voting. And then you actually get like good players going, and then you have the like I don't know who fills out the rest of the roster, but you have the coaches fill out the rest of the roster if that's not how it's already done, and then you basically remove the mandate because like it's ridiculous. Not ridiculous, but like you're seriously telling me that Nick Suzuki's an all-star? And I love Nick Suzuki. He's from Toronto. I think he's like half Asian or half Japanese. I think that's great, but like I think like man, no chance. No chance that like his numbers do not are not consistent with someone who is supposed to be an all-star.
Yeah.
Like because now you're basically tarnishing the idea of like, oh, he was an 8-time all-star. Yeah, but in those 8 years, like every year they had to have one player from every team.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Leo
Mm-hmm.
Komarov shouldn't have been an all-star when he went to Nashville in 2017, 2016.
Yeah,
Like,
not at all. And every Leaf fan will tell you that. Like, I don't know what the NHL is trying to prove here. It's every single Leaf fan from that season will tell you Leo Komarov is not an NHL All Star. The only reason why he went to the game that season was because the league wanted one person from every team.
and I'm willing to bet it's because they want every fan base to feel like they have like someone to watch at the All-Star event. I would argue that by doing that and by having one person from every team on the actual like All-Star roster, you're actually going to reduce the amount of people that watch. Because again, the last three
Mm-hmm.
years, like, and I don't know how long this thing's been in effect for, but like, no one's excited about the All-Star weekend anymore.
Not even a
Everyone
little
like
bit.
everything and like I remember like the NHL All-Star used to be kind of something or like kind of positive or cool things would come out of like, oh, Chara shot like almost 109 miles per hour. Oh my goodness, like the breakaway challenge is so cool because it like and I guess that's one thing and especially the Trevor Zegras thing is one positive that came out of this All-Star weekend. But overall, I kind of felt like there was a lot of negative stuff that came out, or maybe it just felt that way because like because we've been so overwhelmingly negative about it. But like I don't know, man. I'm
You,
just
why did we watch the All Star game? Let's go back like 6, 7, 8 years ago when it was Chara versus Shea Weber. Like, why did you want to watch that?
it was exciting.
It's exciting, right? And there's like a build up
Yes.
to it, like kind of all
Yeah.
season long. You're like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna win this thing? Like both break a ton of
Mm-hmm.
bones when they shoot their pucks
Yeah. Into
into the
defenders.
traffic,
Yeah. But yeah.
into the defenders,
Yeah.
right? All
Yeah.
season long.
Mhm.
And you want to
Yeah.
watch that, like, oh, who'd actually win this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even Fastest Skater at the time was more exciting. Now it's like, I don't care. There's no build up, there's no hype around it.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like this event happens and then we
Yeah.
just stop talking about it for another 10, 11 months, and then we talk about it once more, and
Now,
then not
like,
another 12
here's
months.
the thing. Maybe what now, maybe part of it again, I'm not sure. I'm just spitballing here. Maybe that's just because again, Shea Weber is no longer in the league. Probably is going to be like I think he's basically retired if he hasn't officially already. Zdeno Chara is certainly no longer an all-star, and he's probably playing his last year this year and next year. I'm willing to bet he retires at the end of the season. And maybe it's just turnover, and kind of we're waiting for someone to kind of replace them as like the kind of exciting participants in the skills competition.
That's no, 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 no. I don't think you should ever rely on NHL players to be exciting. What you
No,
do
I know.
is what you do is you
Yeah.
create the environment for them to be exciting. So like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like perhaps maybe 6 or 7 months before the All-Star game happens, Like go as far back to the beginning of the regular season, so September, and then you market
Mm-hmm.
the All-Star game and the rivalries of like hardest shot or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, all the way
Yeah.
from September through to January when you hold the event, and you build it
Mm-hmm.
up and you go like, oh, it's gonna be this person versus this person in hardest shot. It's gonna be this
Yeah.
person versus this person in fastest skater,
Yeah.
and then you market that on social media, and then people are like, oh shit, and then you get the players to
Yeah.
rally behind it and get them like fake beefing with
Yeah,
each other
but
or
they'll
something
never.
too.
Yeah, the player. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, but yeah, yeah. Like, I think the thing for me is like my all-time favorite All-Star event from the years that I was watching was called. I think it's called the Skills Challenge Relay. Not relay. Skills Challenge Relay might have been the Skills Challenge Relay, where it's a relay race where you start off with one-timers. And you have three players lining up to take one-timers, and then it went off to a saucer passing. Fans from previous years know what exactly I'm talking about. It goes off into saucer passes where you have to put the pucks in little mini nets, and then you have someone who is like basically weaving around cones with the stick handling, and then like it was just, and then you have someone like basically getting ready to do accuracy shooting. It was just such a cool way, and it was literally a competition because you had like number one, they actually like I'm not sure if they did it this year. I don't think they did, but they actually kept points for every event that you won. And number two, it's an actual competition because you're trying to get the best score. Like, and I guess that's kind of what this like is also what this is with like hardest shot and everything, because there are scoring categories, but like I don't know, man. And again, maybe it's just me just reminiscing about kind of how I used to be so into the All-Star game like when I was younger, but I don't know. Like I just and if anyone else can kind of think of reasons why, don't hesitate to kind of add us on Twitter or anything, because again,
Yeah.
maybe we're just missing stuff, but like I don't know, man. I can hardly justify watching any of it anymore for the NHL.
You know what the perfect analogy is? When you're watching a really, really good TV show, and then there's that one filler episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the All Star
Like
weekend is.
actually here's a pretty good example. Like one of my favorite shows growing up was a card game show. A super great show. It's not Pokemon. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of my great show. I still watch it today actually. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's something habit. I can't remember. Guilty pleasure. That's the one. It's
Yeah.
my guilty pleasure show. It's something I like to watch, and I like to kind of think about how I was when I was younger. Now I look at the ones they have now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because again, it's still going. They know their audience. They still sell cards. And like I watch one episode, I'm like, I can't watch this. And maybe the NHL All-Star game is the same thing. Or like it's just
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's a different rendition of what it used to be. And maybe there's just people who don't like that, and that's fine, I guess, because maybe they're trying to market to the younger population, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, that's enough about shitting on the All-Star game, at least from my perspective, unless you want to say anything. But
No,
I'm
I'm
uh
good. Okay.
I'm all shitted out from the All-Star game.
Okay, Simon, who am I? What we saw from Rocky was frustration.
No, I was gonna say okay. I
Who am
told you
I?
I had no hope. I told you I had no prevention. I told you I had no hope for that Gary Bettman press conference, and he did not let me down.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So again, trigger warning. We're gonna briefly talk about the tangentially related to the Kyle Beach incident now, because Rocky Wirtz, as we all know, he had a terrible press conference last week. He had an outburst. He had a hissy fit. He was bitching about not wanting to answer the question, and it's not being the reporter's business. Whatever, we talked about it. But it is related to Kyle Beach and sexual assault. So trigger warning again.
Yep, 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 yep.
But I'm going to read you the quote from Bettman first. What we saw from
I don't
Rocky
want
was
to read it.
frustration. It was an emotional, I think most media are calling it an outburst. And the most unfortunate thing about it is it's completely inconsistent with all the work the Blackhawks are doing. A lot of personnel have left. Jamie Faulkner and Danny Wirtz are really running things day to day. They're bringing in a wellness department. They're having training. There's counseling. They know they have to do everything right to create an environment that has an open, welcoming, and safe culture. And that's what they're working on. So I just think it was an emotional moment born out of something that I know has weighed very heavily on Rocky. And I think at the town hall, and what he was really focused on was, how do we take all these things we're doing to move forward? And I think
Nope.
this was just pent up frustration, and he apologized promptly.
No.
0 out
No.
of 10.
No. Negative 0 out of 10. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Um, he said Danny Wirtz and Jamie Faulkner or whatever her last name was. Again, apologies. I just haven't read the quote. I don't know the person. I don't know the person at all. Um, they could have things in place, and I hope they have things in place. That's not the point. The point is, an owner of one of your NHL teams recently, as in like 6 weeks ago or back in October, whenever it's not 6 weeks ago, but like the Kyle Beach thing was resolved 6 weeks ago. This thing came out in October, which is still recent, not even a full year yet. It came out that there was a cover up of a sexual assault case and under this organization, and this owner didn't know about it. That's not okay. And again, we've talked about this before, and if you want to hear what we had to say about that, again, listen to the previous episodes. I'm not going to get into that again because I don't have the energy to spend more time on this stupid thing. Not stupid thing. This problem that needs that, like, I think we can fix going forward. Not fix going forward, but like the league should focus on going forward. In the first opportunity that he has to address the media, to talk to the fans about this incident, he has a fit like that. That's not like Gary Bettman basically just did what the Blackhawks did. We just tried to sweep this reaction under the rug. And again, this is something we talked about. Like I had no hope for this press conference for that exact reason, because I knew that was going to happen. We all knew that was going to happen. And it's Gary Bettman. But like, man, like,
You know what this was? This was a leader who's unfit to lead his organization talking about another leader who is unfit to lead his organization.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. That is a very good way to put it. Correct.
So yep. The fact that Gary Bettman, instead of condemning what Rocky Wirtz said, he actually tried to justify why Rocky Wirtz said it. He was like, listen, there's a reason why Rocky Wirtz said it. He was frustrated. Come on. He didn't mean it.
He basically said, it's been weighing on the fact that Rocky Wirtz let a sexual assault case under his watch happen, and the aftermath or the consequences for his actions, or for the fact that this happened under his watch, had been weighing on him. Is the reason why he's able to kind of just basically tell reporters to shove it and not be able to ask questions, which are very reasonable questions to ask, considering your organization tried to cover up a case of sexual assault. I worded that really weirdly, I know, but like,
no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I got you. The weirdest thing that Gary Bettman said, though, I think this has been a very emotional and frustrating and draining for all the Blackhawks, and Rocky in particular. Why are you sympathizing with the billionaire? What do you mean draining? This guy can wipe his tears with like $100 bills. Oh, it's so draining for Rocky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Rocky Wirtz.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Also, don't punch me in the face. I feel like Rocky Wirtz just goes home and kicks his dog to sleep every night. Like, that's how much pent up frustration is in Rocky Wirtz's blood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, what's the need of Gary Bettman, commissioner of the NHL, to go out and say, it's okay, Rocky Wirtz said what he said, but he doesn't mean it? Is he your child? Do you need to babysit him like this? Why are you saying this?
It's kind of too bad, because it feels like there's a lot of opportunities, especially this year, for Gary Bettman to go out and kind of, I don't want to say redeem himself, but at least to kind of not be a scumbag. And it feels like every time he is very much a scumbag. This is another one of those times, unfortunately. Adam Silver for GM of a commissioner of the NHL. Everyone, we're going to do both NHL
and GM of the Blackhawks.
He's not even the GM. He's the owner. But Rockford's the owner. But I don't know. I think it's kind of too bad that out of all the made professional sports leagues, I only look at one of the GMs being like, oh shit, that's a good person. That is a really good person. Maybe Adam Silverhead does have some skeletons in his closet, but I don't know.
Yeah. Look, it's just, again, one asshole talking about another asshole. It's it.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that. I took nothing else from that. I just was like, fuck you, man. That's it. Nothing. Do you have anything else to say about that?
Again, well, no, because like, again, like I talked about this. Like, I was like, I'm not expecting anything good to come out of this press conference. Nothing did. Like, That's how low the bar, the expectation is for fans in this league. We
Yeah.
can we can't even expect the commissioner to come out and condemn actions that a GM took. Sorry, condemn the action of a GM who basically snapped at a reporter because he asked what the team was doing to prevent for any future cases of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, anyways, like, what? Anyways,
In the same press
uh,
conference, Gary Bettman also talked about. So I will talk about the Arizona Coyotes after I talk about
mm,
what he said first. What else he said? He talked about COVID
mm-hmm,
in Canada. He mentioned that it's frustrating for everybody the fact that the Canadian teams are still operating at lowered capacity, and that they still will be operating at 50% capacity for some time going forward. Bettman was like, it's frustrating, it's troublesome, it's not what anyone wants to do, and it's not something that we're actively encouraging. Sorry, I read it wrong.
okay,
He said, not surprisingly, a number of Canadian clubs have asked about the possibility of playing their games somewhere else. That's what troublesome it's been. That's not what anyone wants to do, and that's something that we're actively encouraging. And then he talked about holding the potential for holding the NHL draft this summer in a different city. If
it's in
the
Montreal this
COVID,
year, right?
it was supposed to be Montreal, but if the COVID restrictions continue, then he was talking about completely holding it somewhere else.
Okay.
So that's that. I can't say anything about that. That's just purely a political issue in Canada. Is what it is,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
We've had enough anti-vax rallies over the last week in Ottawa and
Freedom
Toronto.
convoy. Woo.
He also talked about the potential for holding a World Cup of Hockey and that there would be one in the works before 2026. Cool. What to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. Cool. Good.
Yeah. Okay. And then Arizona Coyotes. So I saved this for the end over here, over the last bit of our episode today, because we never talked about the Arizona Coyotes yet.
No one ever has.
That's true. No one ever has. No one wants to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're 24 episodes in now, 24 rides into our
Oh
podcast.
my goodness.
Next one's going to be our 25th. That's a milestone.
Oh.
And look, a quarter way to 100 already. Wow.
Oh my wow. Oh my goodness. True.
But basically, Arizona Coyotes, since their inception in the league, they've been riddled with a number of financial problems, arena problems, stadium problems, or I guess that's arena problems as
Everything
well.
problems.
Everything problems, player problems,
Yeah.
cap problems, GM problems,
Being relevant in the league. Like, yeah.
those
Anyways,
problems,
yes.
fan problems,
Yes.
just overall being shitty problems. So everything's just kind of hit a boiling point over the last few seasons now. They're having trouble finding a new arena, and they're being kicked out of their
Oh
old
my
one
God.
because they could not pay the lease. If I'm hopefully I did not get that part incorrect,
I
but
think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. Or they can't. Yeah, they can't. Not paying rent. Basically, they can't pay the rent. Essentially.
because they're broke. They're
Yeah.
just broke. That's it. They're broke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the temporary solution is while they find a new arena, next season onwards, I believe they're going to play in a
ASU.
college stadium. Yeah,
Yep. Arizona
ASU.
State University. Yep.
And the attendance of that will only be 5,000 because it's a college stadium,
That's
and that's it. That's
which is coincidentally more than the amount of Coyotes fans are currently in the state of Arizona. Anyways,
probably that's isn't that what Brad Marchand said? He said you
yeah,
have to sell 4,500 tickets to get to 5,000 capacity.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which is kind of true, but like,
I would say I feel bad for Coyotes fans, but there aren't enough for me to genuinely feel bad about them.
it's so
Like,
mean.
and for those Coyotes fans, I genuinely I do feel bad for you, kind of, but like, it's not like, oh my God, okay, like,
It's going to be the smallest arena in the NHL by far. We know that. What
mm-hmm.
Bettman said, though, was even though it will be very, very small, there is a potential, according to one of the quote unquote models that they ran, that it would still be more profitable than the current arena that the Arizona Coyotes are currently operating in. So my assumption is they would have 5,000, and let's say they sell out those 5,000 fans. The ticket prices obviously have to be jacked up to compensate for the fewer number of seats in the arena. And if you jack those up and you assume the whole stadium will be packed, then yes, then you will actually you'll turn more
Yep.
money than you currently
Yeah.
are. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
Come on. Like, who's going to pay more for a dog shit team, man? Who's going to pay more to
Yeah.
watch such a product on the ice? And who's going to want to go to a college stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Come
They're not even
on.
tanking properly. They're not even tanking properly. They're not last in the league. That's the anyways, that's not like part of the thing is like Arizona hasn't again and like this is one of the made like one of the very this isn't anywhere near the worst of Arizona's problems, but like kind of is, but like they haven't had like a player to kind of get the fans excited. Like the closest one they had was Shane Doan, um, who's now gone, but
Pavel
even
Datsyuk?
like Coyotes, yeah, the ghost of Pavel Datsyuk. Like the Arizona Coyotes haven't had like a player to get them excited, and Shane Doan, who is an icon and who's an icon in Arizona Coyotes hockey and always will be. He was never someone who was like a McDavid, like a Matthews, like a Crosby, like a Ovechkin per se. And it does I don't think they really ever had one. Um and again, I could be completely wrong about that. I know like Danny Briere was someone who was pretty good for the Coyote. Was the Coyotes? Yeah. I think Danny Briere was good for a period of time, but again, like and again, maybe the solution is when they get Connor Bedard, or if they get Connor Bedard, because that's not even guaranteed at this point, or Shane Wright. I think is next year. If they're able to get one of them or two of them, both of them maybe, or both of them, who knows? They're able to generate excitement, but like I like the Phoenix Suns are currently number one in the NBA. I think they're the NBA best, they're best team in the NBA record
Yeah.
wise. The Coyotes, and like there's genuinely so much excitement about that team. If you go back and watch the clips of the NBA finals, that arena was rocking,
Mm-hmm.
completely sold out and everything. They're passionate sports fans in Arizona. Same with the Cardinals. The Cardinals made the playoffs this year. They weren't that good, but like they had a good record. They lost one of their best receivers leading up to it. But like I just get the sense there's absolutely no enthusiasm or excitement that the Coyotes are still in Arizona. Um, and again, being competitive would probably change that, but like they haven't been relevant probably since 2012 or 2013.
They will never be
2013.
relevant.
They made the playoffs in 2013. They beat the Blackhawks in 2013. Um, but like that core's gone, and with that team, their relevance has disappeared as well. So,
Dude, like, fold, man, fold. They're not going to relocate Arizona because um, as
because
long as
as long as Gary Bettman's there, he will not move Arizona.
100% no. Because on one hand, if you expand to another city in the NHL, that city will give you like $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 33rd team in the NHL will have an expansion fee of $1 billion. The last one was $750 million, and that was Seattle. And the one before that was $500 million, and that was Vegas. Next one,
Vegas.
it makes sense. It'll be like $1 billion. So why would you relocate Arizona where instead you could just expand and get $1 billion right
Mm-hmm.
there, you know? So
Yeah.
financially, it doesn't really make sense. But man, for the respect of the league, for the respect of fans, for the purposes of creating a viable market in the NHL, not some dog shit team. My mic is popping so much right now. I apologize for that. But get them out of there. Get them out of there. They're struggling. Stop it. Stop it. Fold.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Does any other league have this? Does the NBA, does the MLB
Thanks.
have a team that is similar to the
Oh yeah.
Coyotes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sacramento Kings, baby. Okay. Let's do a little rewind. Let's see. The NBA. The Sacramento Kings are a dog shit franchise. Like they haven't had like they've had some good players. Buddy Hield was someone who was very good. Darren Fox was really good. Um, but like they're awful. The Sacramento Kings are awful. And they made a horrible trade today for my basketball fans out there. I cannot believe they traded Tyrese Halliburton. But anyways, that's besides the point. The Sacramento Kings are like that. The MLB. Think. There's got the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh my god, poor Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are a very interesting example because they've consistently been a good team as of late, like the last couple of years, and they can never sell out their stadium. It is so bad. Like, and again, like the Tampa Bay Rays are a very good baseball team. They won the division last year. They went to the World Series 2 years ago. Um, that's a very good baseball team, and they just cannot sell their stadium. And partially that might be because their actual stadium's on Tampa Bay. But like, anyways, like I don't know if they're as bad as the Coyotes. Like this is probably the first time in pro sports I've ever heard of a team not being able to pay rent.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anyways,
Dude. Okay, even the Sacramento Kings, have they been exciting ever?
no,
The
I
Sacramento
don't know about
Kings.
ever. I don't know. I haven't watched basketball long enough to know, but like I don't think so. I
I
think
I
they.
think they have been exciting recently when they had the prospects coming up, right?
Yeah, but they just traded like half of them. They
I
just
know.
traded.
Okay,
I
I'm
feel
I'm
somewhat.
stretching here.
I get what you're saying. I'm more dealing with the fact.
I
Anyways,
think I
yes, yes,
think
yes.
Arizona is, when you look at professional sports in North America, they're an outlier right now. It's not working. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to work, no matter how much money you throw into that market. Gary Bettman said on Friday, right now it's not a permanent solution, but I think fans can have a lot of fun with it. They can create a terrific experience for people. Um,
Mm,
the owner is committed to getting a new arena, very focused on building one in Tempe. Um,
yeah,
but
okay, with what money?
he's with what money? But he's basically saying that like enjoy, fans. Like this is an opportunity, is something new. Like look how he's grasping for straws at this point. What's exciting about this?
Yeah,
They're going to a they're going to a college stadium with 5,000 people maximum capacity.
like, and take that in, like if they want to get better, do you really think there's going to be free agents who want to play at ASU?
No, 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 no,
You're
no, no,
talking about people talking about Austin Matthews want to go home. You think Austin Matthews is going to want to play at Arizona State University?
no, no,
And again,
no,
maybe the answer is Austin Matthews isn't a free agent until then, and hopefully they have a stadium by then. Like they build one in Tempe or whatever, wherever the hell they're talking about building it. But like, do you think Austin Matthews is going to want to go play in the organization with the current state that the Coyotes are in? No,
When is
granted,
Austin a
like
free agent?
Coyotes have 2 years after this one.
There won't be Arizona
Nope.
2 years after
Oh,
this one. There won't be an
I don't
Arizona
know
to
about
play
that.
in.
I don't know about that.
That's my prediction.
Okay, fine. I just think again, if they're doubling down on this and they're going to make it happen, that's at least 1 year after this one. So it's going to be ASU at least one more after this year, and then the second year, who knows what happens? Because again, I don't even think the ASU I don't even think the ASU arena is going to work out because again, like you mentioned, in order to compensate for the fact that they're going to be like basically cutting their attendance into like eighths. They're gonna have to jack up the ticket prices. No one's gonna want to go pay like a shit ton of money to go watch the shitty Arizona Coyotes go play hockey. Um, and then yeah, like I don't know. I don't know where they go after that. Like maybe I don't know. Like it's
Well,
like yeah.
it's sad, but I know where to end this episode on something more exciting. Do you want to play a quick Simon Says?
Oh, I love to play that game. It's my favorite game.
I did
Except
not
when I have to
prep.
be Simon.
I did not prep this Simon Says in advance. I just
Oh,
came up
that's
with this
okay.
because the Olympics are going on right now.
Oh no, I don't like Olympic Simon Says. I'm gonna say okay. Anyways, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Have you been following the women's ice hockey so far?
A little bit, a little bit. I have been watching some of it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you three questions just based on the scores. Don't pull
Uh,
anything up.
okay, I won't. Oh, okay. I'm gonna lose.
Canada has played,
Hmm.
let me see, they played 2 games, and they've played 3 games and 4 games, actually.
Hmm.
The Canadian women's hockey team has played 4 games in the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Can you tell
Okay.
me their record?
I'm
And
gonna guess 4-0.
yes, can you tell
Okay.
me?
Yes.
Can you tell me the scores?
Okay. So
Let's go number
they
one,
beat you.
Switzerland. Start from the top. This happened
Oh,
last Thursday.
oh my God. They blew them out. Fuck. 8-1.
No, I'm trying to give you
What
a
was
hint
it?
here. Okay, I'll give you 3 lifelines. Okay, this is your first lifeline. It's
Okay.
over 10.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh my God. 11-1.
12-1.
Oh God.
Their second game.
So what? The poor Swiss. Oh, second game. Who they
The
play?
second game, Saturday, February 5th against Finland. They won. Do you know what the score for that one was?
No. 5-2.
No, higher.
7-2.
Higher.
8-2.
Higher.
12-2.
11-1.
You're joking.
No.
You're actually joking.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God. They have families. Oh my God.
I know, right? They have kids.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now, the third game against the Russian Olympic Committee was more competitive. Okay, it's a lot more competitive. Do you know what the score was for this one?
10-1. No, I don't know. No.
It was good.
5 to fuck, like 5-2, wasn't it?
6-1.
6-1. Okay, fuck, that's ridiculous. Oh my God.
That's still pretty
Okay.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
okay, then their most competitive game, like actually seriously.
Yeah, if they won 4-2 last night, that one I actually
Yeah.
watched, so I know they won that one. Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they've just been demolishing everyone. Like no one has even come close in their group just in terms of the number of goals that they've scored.
Yeah. Well, USA's got to be up there now. Oh no, sorry. I guess in terms of goals scored, and they have to. Yeah, they're probably way ahead of everyone. Jesus Christ.
The US team won 5-2 against Finland, their first game. Then they won
11.
5-0 against Russia.
Okay.
Then they won
It's the
8-0
same margin.
against Switzerland.
Okay.
And then they lost 2-4 to Canada.
Canada. Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting.
not as much. They have one loss. Haha, you stink. That's it.
Who they lose to?
Canada. The US
Oh,
team.
right. Yes. That's right. Yeah. Right. That's talking about outside of Canada. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the women's preliminary round, I think, is over now. The men's preliminary round will begin tomorrow, Wednesday, February 9th. And that will run for a few days. Women's quarterfinals will begin on Friday.
Oh, wow. Already?
One more question before we wrap up. Do you know who Canada is playing in the quarterfinals, the women's team, on Friday, February 11th?
China, I'm guessing.
No.
So it's not. Oh, right. Right. They do the crisscross thing, I think. Okay. I have no idea.
Sweden.
Oh, anyways, I have no idea how the women's Sweden team is, but go Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
go China. China beat Japan. That one I saw. I was like, yeah, go.
Oh,
China.
yeah?
Go.
Wow.
I can't remember. I don't know. They actually won a game. I was like, that's crazy.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at this right now. China did beat Japan 2-1.
Good job, China.
And
You're doing
China
us proud.
lost 2-1 against Sweden. Close game.
Oh, we need to beat those Swedes to the ground to avenge my homeland. No, I don't know.
My homeland. Okay, so quickly, quarterfinals look like this. It's Canada and Sweden. That's one bracket. Then you got US and Czech Republic. That's the other bracket. Then you've got Russia and Switzerland. And then you got Finland and Japan. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll very much be interesting. / will it actually?
I think
no
so.
offense to.
I think so. I don't think it'll get insanely more exciting, but when you get to the semifinals, I think it'll be cool.
The one thing I do think is too bad is like I think it's basically a foregone conclusion who's going to be playing in the finals.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I think it kind of sucks, like because this is the problem with the NBA a couple years ago. They had Golden State and Cleveland going up against each other every year. There's no excitement. There's no like build up. It's just like, okay, can we just watch the finals then if we already know who's going to play? Like yeah. But anyways.
And for anyone wondering, the gold medal game will actually be held on Thursday, February 17th. So you can just fast forward in time through there. If you really don't care about any of these Canada games.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Y'all get what we're saying.
Let's wrap.
Again, Subscribe to all of our services such as Spotify, iTunes, Apple, services, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Follow our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok should be up and running shortly. And yeah, stay tuned.
Yay!